Okay, let's dive right into the sources you sent us because there's some massive news from where the NFL gridiron meets the Hollywood red carpet.
Yeah, definitely. A genuine power couple has just taken a huge step.
So this deep dive is all about Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen and, well, the incredibly talented actor and singer Hailee Steinfeld. Our mission today, using the articles, reports, and records you've pulled together, is really to unpack all the fascinating details those sources contain.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about their recent wedding, the journey they took to get there,
Hmm.
and honestly, just how they managed to keep something this big so quiet.
And that's really the heart of the puzzle here, isn't it? We're taking these different reports from various places
Right.
and trying to piece together a coherent picture of what was clearly a very private event for two people who live such public lives. The sources you provided actually reveal a surprising amount when you look at them together.
Absolutely. So get ready, because based on your sources, we can confirm the event happened. We've got details about the ceremony,
Hmm.
a glimpse at the bride's look, insights into their relationship history, and even a peek behind the curtain at the proposal. It's all in there.
Yeah, lots to unpack.
Okay, so let's kick off with the main headline confirmed across multiple reports you sent. Josh Allen and Hailee Steinfeld are married.
That's right. The reports, including those that mentioned photos obtained by People magazine, confirmed they tied the knot very recently, specifically on Saturday, May 31st.
May 31st. Okay.
And the location pinpointed in your sources is Southern California.
Southern California. Got it. And the sources were pretty clear this wasn't some giant, televised affair.
No, not at all.
They described it as a private ceremony, using phrases like intimate but extravagant.
Exactly.
It sounds like keeping the specific secret was like a major priority.
It absolutely was, and this is where looking across the sources gets really interesting. You see how deliberate the privacy was.
How so?
Well, think back to March. One source noted Bills left tackle Deion Dawkins, seemingly revealing that May 31st date,
Oh, right. I remember reading that.
only to quickly backtrack, like really quickly.
Yeah.
And then get this, in April, another source reported Hailee herself giving what felt like a decoy answer when asked about wedding planning.
A decoy. What did she say?
Said she was just focused on promoting her movie Sinners.
Ah, okay. So deflection.
Totally.
Yeah.
It suggests this wasn't a last-minute decision to be private. Your sources suggest this level of privacy was part of the plan for a while.
Wow. Yeah, seeing those different reports together really highlights that strategy.
Oh.
Okay, let's get to the visual details from the sources because they sound pretty incredible.
Oh, yeah.
What did the reports say about Hailee Steinfeld's wedding look?
Well, pulling from your sources, the descriptions are quite specific. They mentioned a strapless corseted wedding dress
Okay.
paired with long opera gloves.
Opera gloves. Wow.
Yeah. And details mentioned include a scoop neckline, a flared bottom with a ribbon in the back,
Mm-hmm.
and her hair styled in a sleek middle-parted bun with a long veil, accessorized with diamond stud earrings. Simple but elegant on that front.
Sounds stunning.
And one source even mentioned the attendees calling her the newly minted Queen of Buffalo, and noted she and Josh weren't shy about TDA. Lots of affection, apparently.
Opera gloves and a corseted dress. That's quite a statement. Unique. Any other surprising details about the wedding that popped up in the sources you provided?
Yes, actually. One source pointed out a rather unexpected plot twist on the guest list.
Oh, do tell?
The appearance of Larry David.
Wait, Larry David? Seriously?
Seriously, that's what one source reported.
Okay, that definitely wasn't the name I was expecting to hear at a Josh Allen Hailee Steinfeld wedding, private or otherwise.
Right, me neither.
That's a detail only digging into the sources like this would reveal. All right, let's rewind a bit now and use the sources you shared to trace their relationship journey to this point. Where did it start?
Okay, so the sources tracked them first being linked back in the spring of 2023.
Spring 23.
Specifically, they were photographed dining together in New York City in May of that year. That seemed to be the first public sighting.
Gotcha.
And several sources note they dated quietly or kept their romance under the radar initially.
Which is tough for them, I imagine.
You bet. Even as they were spotted together on dates and trips later on. Interestingly, one report states they married after 2 years of dating, which, aligns pretty well with that May 2023 start date.
Okay, so about 2 years, quiet dating leading up to a very public engagement.
Yeah.
Which sounds like it was straight out of a movie, based on your sources.
Oh, completely. When and where did that happen?
According to the sources, the engagement happened in November specifically November 22nd,
November 22nd. Okay.
during the Bills' bye week. Smart timing.
And the setting was a California cliff overlooking the Pacific Ocean.
Nice.
One source Malibu, calling it Hailey's happy place.
Oh, that's sweet. Her happy place.
And yeah, the details cited across the sources really do paint that romantic picture you mentioned. A beachside setting, apparently a big flower structure.
Oh, wow.
That sunset backdrop. One source used the exact phrase, calling it a cliffside proposal straight out of movie.
Yeah, that detail about the movie-like setting really sticks with you. And one of the sources even included Josh Allen's perspective on the proposal, right? Shared in Hailee's newsletter.
That's right.
What did he reveal? Sounds like he was pretty nervous.
The report quoting Josh said he was incredibly nervous, yeah. Mainly about Hailee finding out about the proposal beforehand.
Oh, the secrecy.
Exactly. He apparently found it really hard to keep secrets and even, teared up listening to songs thinking about the big moment.
Ah.
He told Hailee it felt unbelievable to be engaged to someone so special, using adjectives like loving, caring, gorgeous, fun, and happy. Just pouring it on.
That's really lovely.
And putting the pieces together from your sources, it seems after that November engagement, reports indicated they didn't want a long engagement.
Right.
Wedding planning apparently started pretty quickly.
Which makes that later public comment from Hailee about focusing on her movie promo feel even more deliberate.
Exactly. Even more like a deliberate attempt to keep the actual wedding plans private. It all lines up when you see the timeline laid out in the sources.
It absolutely highlights how carefully they were managing information.
Yeah.
Now, before we connect all the dots for everyone listening, let's briefly touch on who they are individually. Purely based on the information in the sources you provided and how their backgrounds might inform this approach to privacy.
Sure. So for Josh Allen, your sources identify him as the Buffalo Bills QB. He's currently entering his 8th NFL season.
8 seasons already, wow.
Yeah, and one source notes his significant $330 million contract extension from March. Big deal.
Huge deal.
They also confirm his age is 29. He just turned 29 last week, actually, while Hailee is 28.
Okay, and Hailee Steinfeld, as detailed in the sources, I mean, she's incredibly accomplished. Actor, singer, producer. Her career started super early, age 10. And the sources mention her earning an Oscar nomination for True Grit at a really young age.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And one source even includes that anecdote that she auditioned 8 times for that role of Maddie Ross. Shows her determination.
Definitely.
The sources list other notable roles, too, like The Edge of 17, voicing Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man, Across the Spider-Verse.
Great movie.
And her recent role in Sinners, which she was promoting, as we mentioned. Her production and soundtrack credits are also mentioned in there. She does a lot.
She really does. And this brings us back to that theme you see woven throughout the sources. Their shared value for privacy.
Right.
They are consistently described as notoriously private and low-key people. One source specifically suggests this shared trait is basically why it works for them as a couple.
Makes sense.
Which contrasts sharply with the moments they have shared publicly, which are also noted in the sources, like, Hailee attending Bills games.
We saw pictures of that.
Them being inseparable at the NFL awards, where Josh actually credited her when he accepted an award.
Oh, I didn't realize he did that.
Yeah. And being spotted at that Sinners after party recently. So they pick their moments.
Okay, so bringing all this information together from the sources you provided, what does this deep dive help us understand? What's the takeaway for you listening?
Well, for you, the listener, this gives us a really specific look through the lens of these particular sources at how a high-profile couple navigating 2 very different, very intense industries chooses to handle major relationship milestones.
Yeah, it really shows that interesting tension, doesn't it? On one hand, you have the intense public spotlight of an NFL season, constant movie press tours, just being them.
Right, constant scrutiny.
And on the other hand, you see from your sources that they made a conscious, documented effort, through reported decoy answers and carefully guarded timing, to keep a significant personal moment like their wedding very, very private.
Exactly. And crucially, you get those specific, memorable details straight from the sources, the surprising opera gloves and corseted dress, the truly movie-like cliffside proposal details, that unexpected guest list mention of Larry David.
Still can't get over that one.
Right. It just paints a much richer picture than you'd get from just a simple headline saying, they got married.
Totally agree. That really does wrap up our deep dive into the sources about Josh Allen and Hailee Steinfeld tying the knot. We've pieced together the reported wedding day details, traced their relationship timeline from that first dinner date to the cliffside proposal, and explored how they seem to balance their incredibly public careers with what the sources tell us is a strong desire for privacy.
It's a fascinating case study, really. Two individuals, each hugely successful in their own right, coming together and navigating their relationship milestones under intense public scrutiny, and making, it seems, very deliberate choices about which parts of their lives to share and which parts to hold close.
And here's where it gets really interesting, something for you to mull over as you think about the sources you shared with us. Considering how carefully they guarded these wedding details, what do you think is the biggest factor influencing public figures when they decide how much or how little of their personal lives they share?
Yeah, like, is it just about privacy, or are there other pressures or calculations at play, maybe hinted at in the types of sources that did and didn't report details, or how they reported them?
It's a great point.
Or just think about the sheer demands of their careers.
Hmm.
The grueling NFL schedule for Josh Hailee's packed filming, promotion, and production work. It's intense. How do they even manage to find the time and energy, not just to maintain a relationship, but to plan something as significant and apparently extravagant as a wedding, all while trying to keep it quiet based on the picture painted by your sources? It's kind of mind-boggling.
Lots to think about there. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into your source material. We hope this gave you some new insights and maybe a few aha moments about Josh Allen and Hailee Steinfeld's journey to the altar.